Hello, families. At the beginning of the year, we shared our Emergency Preparedness Handbook. This video is to share an overview of our emergency procedures at school. I'll start with our standard response protocols, then share about how we will communicate with families in the event of an emergency, followed by an overview of our incident command system and when and why we do drills at school. For any kind of emergency, we have a set of standard response protocols. These are consistent responses for any type of hazard or emergency. This is the safety plan that's up in every classroom and office space at the school, and it summarizes the actions for each of the protocols. This also has some emergency phone numbers. Because an earthquake is a most likely emergency, while it is not a standard response, we have included that as its own procedure. The four types of standard emergency responses we may take are secure the campus, shelter in place, evacuate, or lockdown. Our staff are trained in each of these, and we have this guide up on every wall with the essential steps for each response. As recommended by the state, we have enough food and water for our staff and students to be on campus for 72 hours or 3 days. I'll now walk you quickly through each of the protocols. One of our response protocols is secure the campus. This might be called if there is a possible threat or hazard in the neighborhood. This means no one is allowed in or out of campus, but on campus, activities would continue as usual. Another protocol is shelter in place. We might call for a shelter in place if there is an event such as police activity or a hazardous materials spill nearby. During shelter in place, everyone goes into a classroom, teachers would lock doors and close windows, and activities would continue as usual to the extent possible without being outdoors or changing classrooms. Another protocol is evacuate. We would call to evacuate if we need to move people to a location for safety reasons. For example, if there is a fire or a gas leak on campus. Our primary evacuation area is the green top. We practice evacuating to the green top with our monthly fire drills, so this is something students are very familiar with. From the green top, there are several egresses if we need to then evacuate off campus from there. Our secondary evacuation location, if we need to leave campus, is Palega Park, just a few blocks up the hill. Finally, there is lockdown. We would go into lockdown if there was a threat or hazard inside the school. Some examples are if there is an intruder, a dangerous animal on campus, or reports of a weapon. During the lockdown, teachers will gather everyone into classrooms. They will lock doors, turn off lights, and cover windows. Teachers will create an interior barricade with desks or tables, and everyone would get low to the floor behind the barricade. Everyone will stay silent and out of sight until the lockdown is cleared. We will communicate with families as soon as we can and as often as needed, and we will tell you what we need you to do. In the event of an emergency, please do not rush to campus. I know that this may be a first instinct. Increased traffic could prevent emergency services from getting to us and distract from or even complicate the response. Our first communication will be an urgent alert that you will receive via text, email, and phone. After that, please continue to monitor your email for further communications. Again, we will let you know what we need you to do. We also enact an incident command system during an emergency. This is a flexible management system that we use to coordinate the activities of an incident. This allows staff to perform tactical functions in a coordinated way. This chart shows the leads and backups in parentheses for each of our ICS roles. Our ICS team has been trained in their roles and the roles for which they are backup. We practice our ICS roles every time we have any kind of drill. Drills are an important way for our staff and students to build muscle memory and practice our protocols. Drills also help our ICS team practice our roles and identify any operational gaps. They are an important part of our preparedness. The fire department comes every month and initiates a fire drill. Every year we participate in the Great Shakeout Earthquake Drill. And all of our drills are designed to be age appropriate. None of our drills are a simulation of an actual event. There is no trauma during these drills because there is no simulation of a threat or hazard. The only information conveyed is the standard initiation of the protocol, where we will repeat the standard response called for, and then students and staff will practice the proper actions. Parents and teachers will be informed ahead of time of drills, and students will be prepared in age-appropriate ways for earthquake and lockdown drills. Everyone's safety is our top priority at school. How are you prepared at home? Perhaps this presentation will inspire you to check in on your own preparations. Do you have supplies? Does everyone in the family know what to do? Preparation gives all of us the best chance of responding appropriately in an emergency.